Oftentimes I'm asked, what is a wrap document? Would this be something that the Department of Labor would request upon some sort of investigation? And the answer is the Department of Labor likely isn't going to ask specifically for a wrap document, but what they will ask for is an ERISA compliant plan document and a summary plan description which would summarize the larger plan document. What an employer would have in place is really not sufficient. So they would have the carrier certificates of coverage that are provided by the insurers themselves.
Carrier certificates and the benefit summaries or booklets that are provided by the insurance carriers are not going to be considered a wrap SPD. So there has to be some other action or document that accompanies the carrier certificates and the benefits booklets to make it into a summary plan description.
Because of this conundrum, we have developed something called a wrap document that simply supplements the information that would not be present in a carrier certificate of coverage. So essentially wraps around the carrier documents, and what you get with it is a fully compliant plan document, and sometimes we even call it a wrap SPD because it can have the function to summarize a larger plan document as well.
As a former DOL investigator, I would say that you can't really control whether or not you are that one employer that gets contacted by the DOL. And even outside of just the DOL reaching out to you, if an employee asks you for this document, you have to provide it. And if you don't, then they could potentially take you to federal court to say that you didn't provide the document that you were required to provide under ERISA.
So a lot of times employers are under the impression that they have to sort of renew their wrap document every single year. The only time they would need to have an amended wrap document or an amendment to the existing document, we would call that a restated document in some instances, would be if there is a material change to the existing SPD itself. So overall, we would recommend that you make sure to put a wrap document in place, again, regardless of size or funding strategy, to make sure that you have these documents in place. They've been reviewed, they're being delivered and distributed properly to plan participants, and that your plan is overall compliant with federal rules.
The wrap document protects the employer by making sure that they have those legally required documents that ERISA and the Internal Revenue Code require, but it also protects them from the standpoint of them memorializing the rights and responsibilities that employees have when they are participating in the plan.